got 5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. You remember?
God, my nose looks insane. Pod a day, doctor away, 196. I want to say that rhymes just by chance. And I'm stopping the rhyme thing now because that was about to get out of hand. A lot of Twitter-related Mark Zuckerberg stuff today, so strap yourselves in. And yeah, I mean the main thing has been Twitter Threads, which I've not. That's not what it's called. It's just called Threads, right? I don't know. I've not checked it out. But I don't know if it's good or bad or what. And it kind of makes sense. Like I'll get into that afterwards actually, because there's something more in the front of my mind that I want to talk about first, which is something I just saw on Twitter. Surprise, surprise, not on Threads. But it was a picture of Mark Zuckerberg with his wife. Who I didn't even know this man had a family. I thought he was just a lonesome lizard man. But this is the first time he looks kind of human. And he was with his... I'm joking. Well, whenever I've seen pictures of Mark Zuckerberg, he is on his own, very pale, looking lizard-like. But no, he has a family and stuff, and he's managed to reproduce. So he's a normal human guy. And most of the things I know about... I was about to say Marcus Rashford. Most of the things I know about Mark Zuckerberg have came from a fictional bit of media, aka the social network. But what was I going to say? It was a picture of his wife, and then the tweet was, how can you be a billionaire and marry that, in capitals, that, and his wife was there, and then their children, maybe like 3 kids, and everyone's quote tweeting it like, oh, that's crazy, that's insane, the internet has fucked people's minds up, not everyone is like this and that and this and that. Firstly, right, if like, first she wasn't, even if she was like horrendously ugly, right, it would still be a fucked up, horrible thing to say. But like if no, this is not saying me. If someone walked down the street, right, and they saw a man in a wheelchair, and they said, "Oi, you legless freak, get out of my way, no legs. What are you gonna do? Stand up to me? Oh no, you can't because you have no legs, you legless toad wheelchair freak." That would be wrong. But at the same time, they actually don't have legs. So what you're saying is like, it's true, they are legless. Calling them a freak and a toad, that's obviously uncalled for. But they do have legs, you're calling them legless. It's rude, but it's like they have no legs. You shouldn't, but they have no legs. Whereas, like, look, she's a mother of 3. She's just a grown woman, mother of 3. I'm not trying to convince you she's Kim Kardashian, but she's just a normal looking woman. She's just one of us. She's just a normal human. She's got all of the limbs and legs and eyeballs. And even if she doesn't, that doesn't mean she should be exiled from society. What I'm saying is she's just a normal woman. She was called that as if she was like some fucking creature like Gollum, sort of fucking elbow coming out her forehead, like, just walking around like a Stranger Things villain. Like, it wasn't that, I'm also completely aware of, like, Twitter, and like, this is just like a faceless Twitter account who, like, knows that this is an out-of-pocket crazy thing to say, and therefore gains attention. It's like tweets, retweets, and whatever's type thing, starts a conversation. But, like, it is insane. Because at the same time, right, like I just said, oh, it's not. I'm not trying to convince you she's this or that. It's like, yeah, she's no Zendaya, but at the same time, she's a 35-year-old probably woman, mother of 3, and also like Zendaya, I see on the timeline almost daily. Zendaya's actually mid. Like, Zendaya's actually low-key mid. Like, Zendaya's insanely overrated. Zendaya's mid, man. It's like, if Zendaya's mid, then let's just all fucking kill ourselves now. Because what the fuck are we doing anymore? Like if Zendaya's mid, then like, yeah, sure, I guess we're all just, you know what I mean? Like, what can we do? Like the bar is set so unbelievably high. And it's like, sure, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg's a billionaire, so I'm sure he could get almost anyone. But at the same time, Mark Zuckerberg's not exactly punching in the relationship. Sure, he's got all the money around him. Like, Mark Zuckerberg's not like, in any other sense, you would like he's just Mark Zuckerberg, people often, he's Mark. Even I was poking fun at Mark's a lizard and all this other stuff, because that's what everyone does, and I'm just jumping on that same train. But like, it was it's just crazy. Basically, it's crazy. Like, I feel like the older I've gotten, which I'm not that old, but like the older I've gotten, I've started to realize, like, ugly people, it's not really a thing. Like, ugly people don't really exist. Like, they do and they don't. Like, honestly, and I've spoken to people who have very different opinions on this to me. Like, anyone they're not attracted to is ugly by default, because I'm not attracted to them, so they must be ugly. Whereas I'm like, I don't see ugly people. I know I'm sounding like I'm a fucking prophet right now. Fucking Jesus Christ, I love all my children equally. But no, what I'm saying is, genuinely, of course I see some people. Look, I'm a human being. Sometimes you see people. Oh, that light went off. Sometimes you see people and you're like, oh, they're ugly. Sometimes someone will look at you and think you're ugly, right? But what I'm saying is, most people I see, most 95% of the planet, we're all 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10s. Like, no one is really, like, ugly like that. Like, if you think about people, Steve Buscemi, he's ugly. What's wrong with Steve? He's an old guy. Sure, his eyes are a bit big. He's not ugly though. Like, he's not ugly. Like, he's just an old guy. And even when he was young, sure, he had like the big eyes and stuff. But he's not ugly. He's not ugly though. It's just shit. It's just so like harsh. The whole looks thing. I saw something else on Twitter. I was like, I don't know what this whole conversation was about. I don't even know who this guy was. But there's a picture of this guy, and the quote was, how are all you guys all must be blind, how are you guys calling this guy ugly, he's so fine AF. All right, some woman tweeted that out, and then some other woman quoted it and was like, God, my worst nightmare is people on the internet debating if I was ugly or not. And it's just like, it's true. Like, 50% of people being like, oh my God, this is the ugliest person I've ever seen. Over 50% of people being like, what do you mean they're not even ugly? They're like, it's just like, and I know what would be worse, like 100% of people saying you're ugly or whatever. But it's just like, I don't know, man. Ugly is just such a harsh word. It's so harsh. It's so not ideal, realistically. It's really bugged me that like lights went out. Not that it looks terribly bad without the light, but it's just like, it had the light, now it doesn't have the light, and it's like, I don't like that variation. But yeah. The other thing was Threads. That's the thing now. I've not really checked it out, but that's another app to like rival Twitter, and that was always going to happen at some point. You see it. It's like no one's got any interest in trying to rival Twitter or trying to rival Instagram or trying to rival YouTube, really. Like, I'm sure there's been things that haven't even came into like my realm of like living, but I just don't even notice them because they were that much of a failure. But like, it feels like if you ever want to rival, like, that's just not a thing people try, because they know it's a waste of money. You haven't got the time, you haven't got the resources. You're not gonna be able to knock an entire amount of like people off of a platform they've been using for so long onto yours based off of what you kind of have to wait until a company shoots itself in the fucking leg, right? Or realistically, they're doing worse than that. They shoot themselves in the head, right? And as they're down on the ground, fucking weeping, scampering for help, you just walk in front of them and fucking just stomp them, cave their head into the pavement, and fucking just take their place, kill them in their timeline, and then just take their place and carry on as if nothing happened. Because if you think about all the apps before, it's like no one's really threatening Vine. Vine goes out of business immediately. Someone's like, okay, I'm a walk in here like I've been here the whole time. Like Twitch starts to just shoot themselves. All of a sudden you got like Kick, you got Rumble, you got these other apps who are like, oh, people aren't happy on Twitch because Twitch are literally like fucking self-suicide with some of the decisions they're making. Okay, I'll step in here. Twitter's like, okay, we're gonna start fucking shit up and just doing shit people don't like. Okay, now it's time to step in and be like, hey, we're over here. If you wanna come over here and spend time with us, hey, we're here. If you don't like what's going on over there, but like, no one's gonna do that when they're at the top. Like, if you actually look at all the apps, right? Like, you look at, well, I don't know what decision Instagram could make that would make them fail as an app, but like, you would have to say Zuckerberg really is like, as much as people say he's not like good socially, or like, and I think a lot of this is actually just down to like not being photogenic, or like not like, because like, he's just a normal guy. He's a normal guy who doesn't look great in candid photos probably, and we've seen the social network, so we kind of just plaster that's what he's like. But at the same time, he must understand sort of like human interaction, have some kind of like good because again, we're basing it off of him talking about the metaverse, where he's very stiff, like this is the metaverse and whatever. But like he has a way better understanding than Elon Musk to me, because to like have the platform that is Facebook, and although none of us use Facebook anymore, everyone's mum still uses it and connects using it that way, right? And that's still like its own thing. But like to not just fully like perish, but to like adapt to it. Okay, I need to like get what I've got the older generation here, the mums, and they still loving it. But they will eventually die, and I'll have nothing left. So I got to, like, he buys Instagram, whatever, makes that his. Doesn't really change things and turn it. He's not trying to turn it into Facebook. He added stories and stuff that took things from other apps that were doing well there, right? Kept the app alive. Instagram's huge, right? And like just kept it as an app people are just constantly using, never making changes people actively don't like testing things that people don't like. It takes it away. And then you got someone like Elon stepping into an app who's just done the complete opposite thing, and it just like fucked it from the off. And like now you see Zuckerberg stepping in and being like, all these things that he's fucking up here, I'll make an app that doesn't have these things fucking up, and we'll give it a go. We'll see if we can rival it. It's like, it's not like he needs this, but like, I'll go toe to toe with you. It seems like Zuckerberg, he's like low-key, and I don't know why I'm only coming to this realization now, but he knows what he's doing. Because it's like YouTube. I think YouTube, it's done certain things where like another company could step in, but not enough. Like nowhere near enough to a point where a real other like video platform could step in and take that audience away. But they have made decisions here and there where they've gone too far. But at the same time, they have also backtracked enough to remain the powerhouse in like the video space. And like that's a space you don't want to lose, because like that's not an easy thing you can just pick up and start again from the ground up. Like that is like a big powerhouse monopoly you want to keep hold of in the YouTube thing. So like, I don't know who owns, is it Google and stuff with YouTube? I'm not sure who owns YouTube, but like if Mark could get his hands on that, he'd really be fucking just like the fucking master of death, Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows, the fucking wand, fucking what is it, cape and cloak, wand and stone. He'd have like Instagram. I guess Facebook's not really a Deathly Hallow in this scenario, but he'd have like the new Twitter and then like YouTube, and he'd be like the god of men. Not in that sense, but he'd be like, we'd all just be fucking bowing down and praying to the Zuck man. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in. I'm not too fussed. Twitter's a type of app where I don't really care. YouTube's the kind of thing where I'm like, it would take a lot to get me to move away from YouTube. I feel like it'd take me a lot to get me to move from even Instagram. But like Twitter's one of these things. It's like it's just something I scroll through to know what's going on. And like if like it gets to a point where you're scrolling and like everything's just on another app, I'll just happily move. It's very easy just to fucking start a new life there. At the moment, it just seems like a place. A couple people checked it out. A couple people are posting tweets and stuff from that app onto Twitter anyway, so it just kind of doesn't feel needed yet. But we will see. Elon versus Zuck. They're fighting digitally and physically now, so that's cool. This is a part of the Dr. Way, all that good stuff. I think this is 196. We are creeping up to 200, man. We are getting there. I'm finally caught back up and everything is fine and settled now. Internet is still dog shit, but I'm back in my zone. I'm back in the mojo. I'm back in the swing of things, so that's good. And that is all. That's all she wrote. Thank you. This is 196. See you in 197.
Here with the kids, and I had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'd ever meet. He was like,